My name is Mary Buser, and I wrote this book, Lockdown on Rikers. It's the story of the 5 years that I spent working in the Rikers Island Mental Health Department. Part of the reason I wrote this book is because I noticed there's a lot of confusion about Rikers Island. We hear about it all the time in the news, and yet people are confused about its scope, about its function, and even exactly where it is. So let me begin by explaining that Rikers is a 415-acre island that sits in the northern region of New York City's East River. You can't see it from the roads, the parkways, or the streets, which does help to explain why no one knows where it is. It's connected to the borough of Queens by a long, narrow span, which is not accessible to the public. However, if you've ever flown in or out of LaGuardia Airport, and you notice what looks like a large industrial complex covered in barbed wire at the end of the runways, that's Rikers Island. Now, Rikers is not one big jail, as some might think. It is primarily a complex of 10 distinct jails, 9 for men, 1 for women. You might notice that I didn't say prison, but jail, and this is a very important distinction. Prisons are for people who have been convicted of crimes and are serving their sentences. Jails, on the other hand, are for those who've been charged with a crime but who have yet to see their day in court and are therefore presumed innocent. Well, you might ask, if they're presumed innocent, then why are they on Rikers Island? Which is a good question. When a person is arrested and charged with a crime, very often bail is set to ensure that they will show up for their court hearings. If they can afford to pay the bail, they pay it and they go home while they await the resolution of the case. But if they can't pay it, then they are held in jail. And if they've been arrested in one of New York City's 5 boroughs, they will likely wind up on Rikers Island, where they will wait to find out the ultimate outcome of their case, guilt or innocent. Because they cannot afford bail, Rikers Island primarily houses the poor. In terms of size, during the late 1990s, during the Giuliani administration's crackdown on crime, the Rikers census approached 24,000. Considering that a typical upstate New York prison houses about 2,000 prisoners in total, this gives you an idea of the massive size of Rikers Island. Today, the number is much lower, hovering at about 10,000, still making it one of the largest correctional complexes in the world. Hopefully, you will never become personally acquainted with Rikers, but at least now you have a far better understanding of the notorious Rikers Island.